The switch has been thrown. Somebody threw the switch.
Threw that switch. I had to run across the room and grab it and said he kind of needed it.
Well, yeah, but I had no show no switch.
Well, welcome to the show. I'm Marijuana Man. This is from Under the Seed Desk, Wednesday, Vancouver, April 29.
Columbia.
Columbia. And welcome to the show, everybody tuning in and joining the chat. I encourage you to do that and chat along with the chatters in the chat room.
Joining me, as he hardly ever does, is Al the Alchemist. Here down on the south end of the couch.
Yes.
And crushed in between is Kush Queen.
Hola, hola. How's it
Welcome.
going?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What's new?
Oh, you know, a lot actually. Oh, I'm going to Whistler tomorrow morning.
Really?
Yeah, super excited. Spa day.
Whistler is a town in
spa day
British
in
Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Spa
going to be
in
awesome.
That's pretty hardcore.
And I'm going to go for dinner, stay overnight, and then rush back to work.
Wow.
Holy crapulence. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
But I'm excited for it. I need it.
Well, we have
Mr. Marijuana Man.
Huh?
Borrow your lighter.
Yes. We also have another camera. I think it's the North camera today. And that has Jeremiah and Rose joining us. Nicely so. Jeremiah's looking cool. Rose is doing...
He throws his glasses on for the camera.
The love shades.
Yeah.
Yes. Aww.
And Rose is doing some intricate beating. Beating a pair of shoes to death. Beating those to... I don't know.
It's really cool.
Hold the shoe up to the camera.
Yeah, I'm setting a pair of Converse sneakers free.
Looks very cool.
It's going to be magnificent, I think. So we have arts and crafts and music too, because Vlad is here today.
He is.
Yeah, Vlad
Medicine.
Vlad Medicine. So he's here playing a little slide guitar. It's not really Delta blues, more like Surrey or Langley or Fort Langley blues.
White rock blues.
Right, something like that. Not quite
Aldergrove.
not quite into Delta.
Aldergrove Blues.
Aldergrove Blues. So for those of you on Google Earth, you can look those places up while we talk. And perhaps I'll get the chat here. I got a screen today. Full screen.
Full screen ahead.
So, want to thank Mr. Cookie for coming in, taking over the seed desk while we do the show. Appreciate that as always, brother. And do visit the Vancouver Seed Bank. We're online at vancouverseedbank.ca and here live every day at 307 West Hastings. Second floor. Can't miss us if you just keep walking. Up the stairs, keep walking. Bang. Right into our office.
It's right there.
Yeah. So
Just one flight there. Boom.
We also have another location down east of here at 872 East Hastings. So big store, more to explore. I made that up right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Big
It's
store,
good on the
more
spot.
to explore. So, we here in Vancouver continue to enjoy marijuana to its fullest extent, I think.
Yes, we do.
Is what we're known for. And the game is getting a little richer out there in the world.
Oh, yes, it is.
But I should also mention on Saturday, May 2nd, is the worldwide Million Marijuana March that takes place every year for the past million years, I think.
In marijuana years.
Since 1999.
Million Marijuana March. It's been going on a million years. So big anniversary this year because it's the millionth.
Be there or be
It's
sober.
the millionth anniversary.
So there's going to be a lot of extra stuff there, I think. Yes. Oh, yeah. Ancient Dana Beal, they call him now. But that will take place here in Vancouver, gathering at high noon, marching to English Bay, where things will happen.
Yes.
Stuff will happen. It'll be
A fish dinner, actually.
yeah, I think we introduced that
So
last
bring
week.
fish.
Bring fish and dinner.
And some
dinner with
fixings, some fries,
So-
fish and chips. It's a good combo.
Yeah, there'll be lots of joints to be had. I imagine there'll be vendors along the way that sell weed, give weed to the crowd, and set up on the beach, and that'll be a fun day. Hope the weather's good. Not too sure I'm going to make it this year.
Oh, no? How come?
Working the desk.
Working the desk of seeds.
So, yeah, I've been on that march many times, and I don't know. I'll miss it. It's always a good time, so, but got to sell the seeds too.
Yeah. Somebody's got to sell the seeds to grow the weed.
Now,
There's posters on the front page of Cannabis Culture from all around the world, from all the different global marijuana marches I could find posters from. And there's
It-
at least 15 or
it does
yeah,
take
it
place
happens
in
everywhere.
many cities. Too many cities, as it turns out, because what the fuck? They can't figure it out.
90 cities that have participated since 1999.
How many?
Wow.
800, over 890, I believe.
There aren't even that many cities on Earth, so that's how important it is. There's only like, how many countries is there? 200? 890. Wow, they got, this is intergalactic then, I'd have to think. So we've got all the countries in Mars, all the countries on the
Where did our
moon.
chat go?
They call them provinces on
It
the
went
moon.
bye-bye.
The lunar provinces.
The lunar provinces, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, the
We want to say hello to all
Jer,
of our
you're
friends
best.
and counterparts in the reptilian culture in the lunar provinces,
yeah. And the Masons.
and the outer
We're just gonna
lunar
cover
colonies
bases here today.
of Mars and beyond.
Oh yeah, all you cool cats in the skull and crossbones, right on, guys. We're with you, eh? Don't.
Nice shoes.
Yeah. Well, who's in the chat? Green Supremes there. Nice to see you. Jam Glass.
Dr. Clone.
The real Professor Ziggy. Federation says hi.
Ziggy, 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 can't you see?
Just come down and visit us, brother.
Yeah.
Be good to see you. Sofa Snail's here. Nice to see you too. So,
Holy smokes, Sofa
there.
Snail, what's going on?
Haven't seen him for a while, but
No.
good to have you back. People are signing in as we go. So, what's been going on here in Vancouver has been kind of the circus fucking continues.
Some crazy shit.
They, so hence the the title. So Vancouver City Council is licking their lips, figuring they should get in on cash in on these marijuana. I don't know. I shouldn't say what their motivation is. They have an opportunity as a city council here in the world to say, fuck you, we've had enough of prohibition and we're just going to regulate this as we see fit, which really sets a model for other places to follow that would like to do the same, and that might start a domino principle across the land of people saying, fuck you to the federal government. And maybe this might end up marijuana becoming a provincial issue.
I think that's where, or even a
Right.
municipal issue.
Or even a municipal issue. But dangers ahead, again, because as we've researched before, I've offended the Queen somehow. She's off. Off she goes. Right? There's some beheading that must be attended to or something in the kingdom.
No, that
and
was my
and
fault.
now her pool table is ringing.
That was totally my fault.
Yeah. Hello. Vladimir Putin? No. No. He's left his phone though. Wow. Interesting. The phone.
It's like the new.
Yeah,
It's the new world answer to the brick phone.
Yeah.
Remember the old crazy big analog brick phones?
Yeah.
This is the new world answer to
Yeah.
the brick phone. Hey, what's
It's
going
thinner,
on, guys?
but just a little wider. So, yes, Vancouver City Council has come out and said, of course, as you all probably know, that they're going to regulate all the dispensaries here in town and have a whole whack of rules that they would like to advance into the fray. So, of course, Health Canada fired off a letter to the mayor and the city councillors. Rona Ambrose sent the letter. And I just wanted to quote what she said in it, because it was an unusual thing in my mind. She said, of course, it was all about the youth, right? This is all that she ever talks about, is the Canadian youth. But she said, indeed, according to the Canadian Drug Use Monitoring Survey, although youth marijuana use has dropped by almost 45% since 2004, 20% of youth smoked marijuana in 2012, compared to 70% who drank alcohol. She said, legitimizing and normalizing marijuana could mean more than tripling its use by youth. So what she's actually saying there is that 70% of youth are drinking alcohol, and we can't do anything about it, she's saying, so that if you legalize marijuana, then the use will be similar to the use of alcohol. It'll triple, which probably will. I
Or
don't
not.
know. But,
It might not.
like, really, I'm not sure why she added this 70% are drinking alcohol, because that's not a good thing for her to admit, necessarily. That they don't care about your youth at all by knowing and allowing them 70% of them to drink alcohol. There's no alcohol restrictions in that respect.
There's so many variables that could be introduced to that would change that number that they're just not taking into consideration. Like, what would the reluctance be amongst marijuana consumers, people that are going to dispensaries to buy their weed? What would their reluctance be to score a gram of weed for a kid as opposed to buy them a bottle outside the liquor mart?
Yeah.
You know, they're not taking any of that into consideration, but yet they say they have an educated guess on what this outcome is, and it's just a bunch of bullshit.
Well, somebody sat down with Rona Ambrose, the health minister responsible for this debacle, and actually had some very
great word,
isn't it though? Health
Debacle.
minister. Oh, debacle.
Health minister. No, that's a dirty,
Mel
that's
Hempseed
a
has joined
dirty
us,
word.
and her little dog.
Okay.
And so somebody sat down and interviewed Rona, and man, oh man, I got to read it to you. It's just fucking insane. They said, does marijuana not have value as a medicine? And she said, it's important for that people know that marijuana is not a medicine. It has not been approved by Health Canada as a medicine. And then they said, so why create a regime to produce it and distribute it and allow people to use it for medicinal purposes? Well, the courts ruled about 10 years ago that said certain Canadians have to have access to dry marijuana. So they said, so if those court decisions then, she said, they said if it were not for those court decisions, would the federal government allow people to use medical marijuana? And she said, no. Health Canada would definitely not in any way have anything to do with this. She said, because it's bad for kids. 3 questions in, she starts talking about the kids. So they said for the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of users in Canada who say they use it for medical purposes, that it provides relief not found with other drugs, are they making that up? And she said, well, that's not for me to say. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a scientist. My real focus is kids. My real focus is kids.
She's a child entertainer?
One of the reasons I've appealed to the
She's,
mayor of Vancouver to shut down these storefronts is that I think it sends a bad message
Meow.
to our youth. by having marijuana being sold in storefronts is a terrible signal to young people. Well, across the street from me is a pub with a billboard with a big giant bottle of fucking Crown Royal on it, on the street, for every kid to see. And they wonder why 70% of them drink alcohol. Rona, right? Now then, the questioning went on, but she turned it into a political thing by now chastising Justin Trudeau for wanting to legalize it and put our children at risk, right? It becomes a fucking thing. So, they said to her, how much money is spent on law enforcement or marijuana laws? She said, I can't tell you that. I don't know. All I know is that marijuana is very harmful to youth.
But she doesn't know.
Right?
And the one thing that I don't understand is, shouldn't she be a doctor?
No, Al, don't you think that
Shouldn't
she's
she
not
be a doctor to
qualified?
be the director of Health Canada? Shouldn't she know something about human physiology, medicine, medical applications, ailments, and all of that kind of stuff to be the director of Health Canada? The person that is in charge of medicine?
No, don't think.
What the fuck? This is just the most absurd thing. It's like, nah, man, I think she's got a bachelor in. No. No, I'm not sure what her credentials are, but I'm pretty damn positive she's not a medical doctor and has no formal education in the
I know what her
the matter.
I know what her credentials are, by the way.
Let's hear this.
She has a.
I was setting this up.
Don't you think that she's not qualified for this because she has a Bachelor of Arts
Yes, she's got a BA.
from the University of Victoria.
I thought it was Bachelor of Science, but
Oh no,
I didn't want to say.
she went on though to get a Master of Arts degree in political science from the University.
There we go.
University
That's
of
what
Alberta.
it was. Yeah, poli-sci. Masters of poli-sci. It's
So, the study of political science is a discipline which deals with learning how government works. That's what Rona Ambrose is
it's learning about the
professional at.
application of policy and
So?
its effects.
Implementing policy, that's their...
But I still think she should be a medical doctor.
Where did my thing go?
And you can't tell me that there's nobody out there in Canada that doesn't have a poli-sci degree and is an MD. Of course there is.
There's probably
It's just absurd.
more qualified than her.
No, she's a professional politician, is what she is. She studied to be a politician, and then she hooked up with Stephen Harper in the early
She's a
days.
lying monkey.
She did.
She's a lying monkey on a
She
leash,
hooked up with
is what she
Stephen
is. That's all she is. Just a lying monkey on a leash that they feed popcorn to. And they say, here, say
Well,
this.
Here's what she's done. In 2006, she successfully defended her seat in Edmonton. Then she was appointed Environment Minister by Harper. And that's when they had the big Kyoto thing.
So
and
we know that
she
she's
was-
just like the biggest team player. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, we're going to get you in as environment minister because we got to sign all of these crooked underhanded things. And then we're going to get you in as health minister
She
because we got to
fucked
do some
that
other
all
shit
up.
there.
There was a big scandal going on in there. And then she was shuffled out of that position and appointed Minister of Western Economic Diversification. Then she was
Whoa.
punted out of there and became Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs.
So she's just really incompetent is what
And
it is.
then,
The son or daughter of someone?
yeah, then she was shuffled to the Department of Labor, and then she was appointed the Minister of Public Works, and then she was appointed the current Minister of Health.
So she's
Jack of all trades, you could say.
she's the son or daughter of whom?
Here's another. I can't find out. I can't find out who her family is.
She's
I
the
can't
town
find
bike
out-
in politics.
Can't find out who she's married to. A guy named Bruce, but I can't find out what he does. And I think it's fairly. I'd kind of like to know what the spouses do. Happy 420 out there.
Happy 420.
Now, these are the people who are making these decisions. And she's coming out and saying some very wacky things about something she knows nothing about. Again, and why are we letting her? Like, why are these people even in these positions, for fuck's sake? She's a professional politician. The worst person you could ever have doing
buddy.
anything. Now, the BC Chief Medical Officer, he came out and challenged her, what she was saying. And he says that marijuana does have some medical benefits, countering her claims that there is no medicinal value. So when he was asked about whether or not it's a good idea to regulate these things in Vancouver, he said that I think it is a sensible decision to enact access. But here they just fucking willy-nilly to move it away from schools, to be sure you don't have more than one dispensary within 300 yards of another. Like, where did he come up with that other than what he just heard? And to make sure they are offering a product without pushing the recreational area, which is a weird thing.
Well, you can't have a basketball court attached to your dispensary.
Yeah.
That's what that. No hopscotch, no basketball,
No
nothing.
pushing
No
the
batting
recreational
cages, nothing.
area on the kids. And that they're only selling to adults.
Like 25 years and older or something, no?
Now, on the heels of that statement from the BC Chief Medical Officer, the fucking BC Medical College of Physicians and Surgeons have said that it will be prohibited for anybody under 25.
Yeah.
So the Chief Medical Officer said they are only selling it to adults. He didn't say it if you happen to be 25 and an adult. Where the fuck do they come up with this shit? So unconstitutional. Hey, I love it. It's so unconstitutional. And you can yeah. Well, they're just
They've always been.
they don't even know, right? They're just stupid. They're all just stupid, saying shit out loud, and then they go,
Oh, wait a minute. It's not what I meant.
Really? We could be sued for this? And yeah, you're going to get sued for a lot of it, you guys. So bring it on. People under 25. Or anybody suffering addiction should not be prescribed medical marijuana. Like, fuck off, idiots. Idiots. They're probably working on some sort of scheme to rake some cream off the top. All right? They're just delaying it so that they can have some.
Yeah.
Now, here's another naysayer when it comes to the mayor's decision to do this, and that's coming from, guess who? Tweed. Tweed's complaining that he says there's no legal way for stores to get pot because licensed growers can only sell cannabis directly to patients by mail.
But Tweed can buy weed off of growers in.
Yeah, he didn't mention that.
No, nobody's talking about that anymore.
He said none of the LPs are selling it to the dispensary, so where are they getting it from? Right? He says it's black and white. It's an illegal system. When you normalize and regulate and say that a criminal activity is okay, that sends you down a bad path. This is what the guy from Tweed said. So what? Only took a few months for the first LP to come out verbally wanting to continue prohibition so that his business can succeed. That's it, that's all. Right? Like, really?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me, you swines in Tweed? I hope you guys just crash and burn, really. And you will, because you're an idiot, evidently. So there's little chance you're going to succeed in an open, free market. All right? The only way you could succeed is in the oppressive
It's too competitive, and there's truly expert growers that don't support the licensed production system. And those expert growers will always produce a higher quality medicine or higher quality recreational substance than in my opinion, the people that have been attached to a lot of these facilities.
Oh yeah. Well, they scrambled all these LPs to get people to grow for them, and they didn't fucking even have a clue, and they still don't have a clue what they're doing. But at any rate, everybody is diving into the fray here. Holy cow. So, I don't know, 300 feet isn't very far away from each other, really. Like, bars in this neighborhood alone, from my window I can see 2. I could probably throw a beer bottle to a third one. There's a fourth one just beyond that. There's another one across the block on the other side of the street, and there's another one beyond that. There had to be 6 bars in a city block, a whole just down here. And you go down Hastings Street this way, and it's just like that on every block. All the way around the block there's bars. So I figure eventually you should be able to have that with marijuana fairly easily anywhere you can have a bar. But it's going to be a big fight because politicians are idiots. Did I mention that? Right? And marijuana and this whole issue is so very public. We don't get to see very often what city councilors do behind their stupid closed doors because we don't really care. But this is going to be a very public issue.
So yeah,
they're going to look like idiots.
It's gone to a public hearing now, no? Or a series of public hearings.
Oh yeah, but no, I mean in the media and in everybody talking about it, it's a public issue, right? And these people are going to come out looking like idiots.
Oh, they are. they went into it looking like idiots.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
So if you think that saying that these people need a license is going to stop marijuana, are you fucking kidding me? Really? Are you going to sick your cops on everybody else to enforce your stupid rule? It doesn't matter. Yeah, there was a raid on one of the dispensaries here in Vancouver today.
Which one?
Weeds.
Weeds?
Somewhere. One of the weeds.
Which weeds?
Huh?
Yeah, which one?
Out in Kitsilano. So that's probably having to do with the church. The church
said no.
Yeah.
We got a call from the Pope, and the Pope said shut it down.
But
said no.
so we don't know where this is all going to go here in Vancouver, but it's a very interesting fight. I hope that it'll all come down eventually.
Well, there's something to be said out of this, and that's the bottom line is the city is embracing a system that's deemed illegal, deemed black market, and they're saying fuck you to the powers that be, and they're saying we're going to do it our way and leave us alone. And all of these other details, they're going to be sorted out internally. There's going to be whatever they decide is going to be disputed, and people will gain ground within that system, and they'll dispute until it's the perfect system. But what it does do is it gives other cities courage that you can really just say fuck you when we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So
well, I hope so.
We can only take change as citizens, as activists so far, and to spark ideology amongst the rule makers that's a huge achievement alone. That's for sure.
Well said, Al. Don't you think?
Colombia.
Yeah.
Colombia.
Well, there are more medical dispensaries in Vancouver than Tim Hortons. A guy wrote an article about
Is that really
it.
true, though?
It is
Yeah, there's not
true.
very many Tim Hortons here, though. That's not saying much. It's like
Yeah.
when they're beating out Starbucks or
Yeah, they didn't say Starbucks.
yeah, Waves, Second Cup or whatever that.
GGB.
No, there's no Second Cup here.
There's more
All right.
dispensaries than fucking lots of stores. He just went down a list and picked, oh, there's Tim Hortons.
There's more dispensaries than T&T markets.
No,
Big deal.
went down the list and were like,
Whatever.
What is there more dispensaries of? And they just picked that and wrote the article.
There's more dispensaries in the Victory Corner store over there.
Yeah.
Really? Like, It's unbelievable.
So is that a commentary against it? Do you say, oh, look how common it is?
I couldn't tell. I think he was wanting more Tim Hortons, really. He didn't really seem like he wanted less dispensaries. He's just wondering why we don't have more Tim Hortons. So, yeah. Tim Hortons employee, there you go. Yeah, they guarantee they got fresh updates to their posts. Well, I went online to the Vancouver City homepage to see actually what it would take me to get a Tim Hortons license, whatever they would require, a restaurant license, right? And how much it would cost me compared to the $30,000 that they're going to say they want from dispensaries, which is unheard of. I think a bar only pays $4,000. But, yeah. So, Tim Hortons, I thought, well, that's got to be a restaurant. So I went on their homepage and tried to find out how much a restaurant license would cost. Do you think I could fucking find anything about that? There was no way for me to access anything that told me about getting a restaurant license or what requirements I would need. The word restaurant didn't come up in a fucking search of their webpage. Cafe license, couldn't find anything there. It was absolutely nothing. Which was very well, yeah, typical crap of fucking idiots running cities with millions of dollars at their disposal to do whatever the fuck they want. Idiots.
Build a fucking comprehensive website, won't you?
Yeah, and you can't even find shit out that you want to do. Like, really? Come on. Very frustrating. But, yeah. Parks Board. And then I also, while I was there, I went on to their little area about getting a permit to do an event. Like, there's been talk about us getting a permit to do 420 and so forth. Second line in, we didn't qualify. Provide you proof that you're a non-profit organization and the number, the registered number that you got. You go, sorry, can't do that. Okay. We could do just about everything else except comply to the noise, the numbers of people. How many people expected to attend was one of them. You go, oh, I don't know. And traffic interruptions there might be.
Oh, yes, definitely there will be traffic That's the only one that could...
The center of the city, 50,000 for 8 hours. I don't think that's going to be approved by anyone.
No.
And a whole bunch of fees. Lots of fees. We should just pay them. I think we should collect money, raise the rent a little bit,
and just donate the fees.
Yeah,
don't actually acknowledge that you're paying fees. Say we want to make a donation.
No, we'll show up at City Hall with a stack of cash and say, here's your cut. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be great to film.
It would be wonderful to film.
Just here's your cut.
Here's your cut. That's what you want? Here you go. We'll cover every cost that we can find in the fucking thing. You only get one cop. We'll only pay for one cop. You want more cops than that? We'll only pay for one, but we'll pay for... Or the two Jeffs.
The two Jeffs. We can pay for.
We'll pay for them.
We'll pay for them.
The two Jeffs?
Two Jeffs. The cops that come to the meetings are both named Jeff.
Send the two Jeffs. We're good.
I think it just makes them... I think a lot of police officers, as it turns out, are named Jeff. It just makes... It makes it easier for them. They, too, wish there was more Tim Hortons.
They always bring Tim Hortons.
Don't really like Tim Hortons. So.
I don't like Tim Hortons either. I think
They can fuck off.
their donuts taste
I like Timbits.
Timbits.
Yeah, they sell the center of the donuts.
Yeah.
No, they're called Timbits. No, they're the center of the donut.
They used to throw those away by the billions.
Donut holes, man. I'm telling you, Timbits. They stole it off of Robin's
I do
Donuts.
have to say, their Nutella
They
donut
stole
is
it
like,
off of Robin's Donuts.
To die for.
I used to love Robin's eggs.
Robin eggs, man.
Really good.
Whatever, don't
I
judge me.
hate them. I'm like,
Robin's Donuts.
Nutella.
Bismarck there, not a Boston cream.
It's because it
How
is a
very
Bismarck.
German of them. Okay. Bismarck. Huh. Well. Now, what? Justin Trudeau on the other side of the political fence, he announced that one of his guys is going to be Bill Blair, ex-chief of Toronto, chief of police of Toronto, and who kind of all the time has been against against legalization, but now he's not.
Huh.
Interestingly enough,
Billy Blair is a team player.
Bill Blair. So, I don't know, interesting move. Here's a guy who's switched sides, and that's okay because people are gonna switch sides, and that's fairly influential guy to have switched sides, really, I think. But you can't ever really trust a side switching guy.
I don't have a lot of respect. I don't really have a lot of respect for flip-floppers. However, if a man truly changes and sees that this ideology he supported was wrong, and comes forward and changes his ideology and recognizes his wicked ways and embraces retribution, then that's a different thing.
True. It is we who would think of
but
it as
but I don't know if
side-switching.
that's the same with old Billy Blair.
Yeah. Well, if in fact, we just believe that marijuana laws are bad and need to be changed. So does he now. So that's good. I'm going to leave it at that, Bill. However, Canadian Association of Police Chiefs aren't too fucking pleased about it because, of course, the media will come knocking to them. Now, here's...
Yeah, it'll be like, how do you feel about one of your own jumping sides?
Yeah. Well, here's the...
I know, it's my favorite.
That's my reporter, my Toronto
kind of
Toronto Weasley reporter voice.
Here's an interesting thing that the Canadian chiefs of police say. Now, they've adopted a resolution stating that they do not support the decriminalization or legalization of cannabis or any other illicit substance. They do not support the decriminalization or legalization of cannabis or any other illicit substance. So any substance that's illicit right now in Canada, no matter what it is, they will not support it being legalized.
That's because it's currently illicit.
Huh? Because it's illicit.
Yeah, but if it wasn't, they would support the legalization of it.
Yes.
Yes.
So, what? Like,
We just got to legalize weed in order for the Toronto police to support the legalization of weed.
So, if someday in the future that they find out that some illicit substance, no matter what that is found to be extremely good to help, say, an aging chief of police. Like how fucking... what a bunch of old farts. It all has to do with money. Has to do with money and keeping their guys working. Right?
It's too small.
Keeping their guys working. Because it has...
Work it.
It's a danger to young people, is what they said. Huh. Same as that's all Health Canada's got. That's all those guys got. It's a danger.
You know,
to
it's
young
a danger
people.
to young people. All of these oppressive policies.
Yeah.
That's
And
what's a danger to young.
I think it sends
I
the
think
wrong
I think
message.
somebody should do a study on how oppressive policies endanger the minds, the developing minds of young people, and the free thinking of young people and
It's related to the early development of schizophrenia.
yeah, that and chronic depression, stress related diseases, heart problems, pulmonary disorders, all of this
Wearing
kind
your
of stuff.
pants all droopy.
I think, if somebody had enough money and funded it right, they would get those answers. Because we know you just get whatever answers you're looking for when you fund a study.
Backwards
Probably find those for real though.
No, I think there would be a definite correlation between.
So yeah, the youth. It's all about
the youth.
youth. That's why today's show title was Health Canada's Youthless. I think they're all
Youthless.
youthless. But, yeah, that's such fucking bullshit. Like, really, they don't care about the youth. They've only glommed onto that because that's all they got. It's their little corner that they want to occupy, right? Now, here's a sad thing that happened in Sacramento, California. A guy with hundreds of marijuana plants found in a wildlife preserve was shot dead by a fucking wildlife and fisheries officer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an elk.
Well, if it had been an elk, I would have went, well, okay, well, that's fair. But, no, the fucking fisheries guy shot him dead. Now, they said that the guy did not shoot. The guy was armed. He didn't shoot at the fisheries guy, but he pointed his weapon at him. Now, come on. Really? Don't you just fucking kind of dive out of the way and fucking, hey, put your gun down. I'm going to fall back here. I'm going to...
I didn't shoot him. I was
Eh?
just pointing my gun at him. It's like, okay.
Yeah. This is a multi-agency raid of a marijuana grow operation was taking place. So there had to be 1 million cops there, right? Had to be 1 million fucking cops there. Nobody could see this guy was armed. Okay, well, let's fall back. We'll figure this out, see if we can get him unarmed and fucking arrest him. No. Fisheries guy shoots him? Holy fuck. These guys are just itching, eh? Itchy trigger fingers going into the bush fucking...
Could have been a robbery.
Shooting
too,
a guy for a few hundred marijuana plants, for fuck's sakes. Grr. In California.
Maybe there was a few thousand marijuana plants and they're just, you know, saying there's a few
Yeah,
hundred.
they're sitting on them till they finish flowering. No, that's very sad, I think, and I think they should get guns out of the hand of fish and wildlife guys.
I think so too.
If you want to be out there fishing wildlife, you take your fucking chances with the fish and wildlife. Eh? You don't get to be out there shooting people for growing plants. Holy fuck. You couldn't throw a net on this guy? You couldn't fucking fall back with binoculars and see what he's going to do next? You couldn't radio each other? You couldn't do nothing? You had to shoot him, for fuck's sakes? Oh my gosh, what horrible, horrible police work. Horrible, horrible police work, leading into the death of a guy. Fuck you people. Hey, Mr. Ranger, sir.
Right.
Hey, it's just a picnic basket.
It's just a picnic basket.
In California, for fuck's sakes, where they're going to legalize marijuana next year, you fuck. Whoever you are, fish and wildlife guy.
It's
I
also in California where you're allowed to have a firearm. You're allowed to carry a firearm, and when you're in the wilderness, you're allowed to actually have your firearm out. So none of that's taken into consideration.
No.
I mean, I doubt the guy. I don't know if he had a license. I'm not sure of any of the details with this, but they didn't know that.
They gave him a chance.
They didn't know that either when they shot him. They just associated him with a cannabis raid, and
The grow operation was accessible only by boat.
so it was really a threat to a lot of people.
Yeah. No other suspects are being sought at this time. Don't you mean shot? The guy wasn't a suspect. Well, he isn't now. He's not a suspect now. He was.
No other partners are being pursued
He's
in
a
this
suspect.
assassination.
So I hope the fish and wildlife hear this and rise up. Hey, where was this now? This is in fucking Hoodville Franklin Road near I-5. You know. You elk, you coyotes, you porcupines, you know what's going on down around there. You go get them. Yeah, that'd be fun. Fish and wildlife. This lieutenant, they don't name the fish and wildlife guy, but could be killed by a trout in the near future. Fucking choked by a
Just
trout
a
or
random
something.
trout attack.
He's slapped every time he's near the water. You get a slap from a fish.
Getting slapped around.
We wish. No, it's tragic bullshit out there. Now, the NFL is starting to whine. Big fucking burly football guys, the NFL is starting to whine that 30 to 40% and probably way more of the guys they have to choose from to play their football game are all smoking pot.
Of course. That's because they're
And their
fucking sore.
Why the fuck not?
Their rule is that you can't smoke pot.
Well,
They don't know what to do, so they're whining that.
That's the raid.
Oh yeah,
Should have showed off our kid.
police at Weeds. Yeah, is that the closest one to Gregor Robertson's house? Right.
and nothing within 3 kilometers of Gregor's house.
Well, we'll have to see how that all pans out, but you never know what's going on. Somebody complained, some old lady complained. I was walking by there and I saw
I saw.
a putty tat. I saw a putty tat. Pretty sure.
And they just came raiding in.
We'll shut them down. Give us your money and all your weed. How childish. But the U.S. now, Eric Holder was seen like a pretty good guy around marijuana, pretty cash. Now they got a new one. Oops. Loretta Lynch. Loretta Lynch. Don't, I'm not too sure. I looked her up. She's African American. Second said U.S. attorney to be an African American, right after Eric Holder. She, of course, is a Bible-thumping Baptist. Oops. And so she says marijuana is still a criminal substance under federal law, and it's still a crime. Right? She went on to add she would try to work with states where marijuana is legal in some form to continue enforcing federal marijuana laws. So she's going, okay, we want to keep the DEA working. We've got to keep everybody that's working now working. Because if we don't, we're in big trouble. We've spread out the prohibition money so far into our society that to end it is fucking financial chaos.
Bath salts just didn't take off as well as the DEA had planned.
Yeah,
as
they
a
were
new-
trying to make
new
a
form
lot
of prohibition,
more money at
but
that. So Loretta Lynch. It's not even a fucking. It's a fucking frightening name. Now, she also said, and I'm speaking of Loretta Lynch. She said that she disagreed with the comments the president made about his own marijuana use as a youth.
Wow.
I'm not too sure why she would disagree with that, but
I disagree with your interpretation of your life experience.
now, and stated his opinion that the drug is no more dangerous than alcohol. When asked about the president's comments, Loretta Lynch said, I certainly don't hold that view, and I don't agree with that view of marijuana as a substance. Silence, right?
Yeah.
Because that didn't make sense.
Exactly.
what she said. That didn't make any sense.
Nothing she says has made sense.
She said,
just in
I
shock
certainly
right now."
don't hold that view and don't agree with that view of marijuana as a substance. So, what Loretta Lynch is saying, if I can kind of paraphrase her fucking idiocy, is that she doesn't agree that marijuana is no more dangerous than alcohol. She thinks it's as dangerous as alcohol.
So she's stupid.
Yes.
Great.
Stupid and Republican Well, she's actually not a Republican, but wow, she's a Christian woman, right? Fuck off. Sick of you people, your religion.
She needs to be thumped by a couple Bibles, eh?
Yeah, like really, I'm really tired of it. I don't know. That's just me.
Christian fundamentalism
Don't need it.
has
I don't care.
infiltrated politics.
I don't give a
for
shit
sure.
what you believe is the meaning of life. I don't really care. Because you're wrong. So, keep moving. So, have it at home. Have it in your little buildings. Give up your buildings, actually. Just have it at home. You can all do fucking Skype Christ now, can't you? Can't you? Skype,
Skype Christ. Join us
Yeah.
next week on SkypeChrist.com.
Skype Christ on Sundays and leave and give up.
Everyone Skype's in.
Yeah, and give all your churches to the poor.
Join Reverend
We'll
Binary.
sell it all and we'll divide up the money and we'll make nice places for them to live and food for them to eat. People to eat. How about that? I certainly don't agree with that
Sorry,
view and don't agree with that view of marijuana as a substance.
I've been
Right.
doing it the whole time. Just kidding.
They're insane is what's going on. Like, when I look at Google News, it is all over the map. Oh my God. It used to be just people getting busted. That's what it was. People just getting busted for marijuana and the odd festival thrown in there. But now, there's Forbes magazine, all about the business side of it. There's certainly way more business interest in Colorado and the money that's being made and who's going to be taking over and big marijuana's coming and it just goes around and around. And then there's the whole medical side of it where they're legalizing for Charlotte's Web and kids and giving it to kids and then they're also worried about the youth and then they're giving marijuana to kids and they're worried about the youth and then they're giving marijuana to kids. Then they're going, should we have medical marijuana? And then somebody says, it's bad. You shouldn't. Right? Like, it's just fucking nuts. It goes around and around. It's so somewhat frustrating.
A mix.
Oh?
A bunch of things.
And we'll see how it all goes in the weeks and months ahead.
Mostly Congo.
Mostly Congo. That's what I like to hear. We're smoking a whole bunch of reefers here that were given to us just prior to the show.
Whoops.
Dirty Dave was here. What did he say this was? OG fucking something times G13? Something times G13?
Sometimes.
Skunk times Afghani.
It's nice.
Wow. Pretty good jam night last night.
Wow.
I left a little early. Al told me
Crazy jam night that just developed into it developed into like one of the best nights here. This girl brought a board to tap dance on and rocked a crazy tap dance. Some girl, I don't know who she was, but she rocked a crazy tap dance set
cool.
over top of the band that was just rocking some crazy acid jazz.
Cool.
Some lounge funk.
we might have to, we'll get her maybe for a festival.
Serious energy.
Yeah. Don't mind the foot stomping. Yeah, fun stuff. What else is going on? Not too much, eh? Shows ahead. Jared's going to do a show on Friday.
Allard's on Friday, so it might be a late show.
Allard's on Friday. What does that mean? The court's back in session. Oh, is that right?
Isn't that on Thursday? Tomorrow? Oh, Thursday and Friday.
So, court's back in session. What's going on there?
Well, Allard will be back in court. Now, this is going to be their closing arguments. Kirk and John have to... Yeah, exactly. You could do it that way. I switched cams, so they couldn't see it. Hemp seed joint? Yes, Kirk and John will have to present their closing arguments, as well as the defendants, the government defendants in the case, will present their closing arguments as well. And it's kind of like the wrap-up days. I think they have all day to do it both days. They're going to wrap. Somebody's going to get on the mic. Kirk's going to, like, bust a... Yeah, and Conroy's going to, like, do a freestyle, I think, probably. So we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, and this should be... I love this part because they basically summarize everything that they've done and kind of tell the judge why he should care. So this should be interesting.
The judge, this is the part where you guys start listening.
He actually has to pay attention at this point, yeah. Probably. He seems like he has been paying attention through the case, actually. This guy seems to be a lot more alert than some of the judges I've seen. And he's been kind of like nodding at the right times. I don't know. He seems... Sometimes I oversee a friendliness in the judges to our side. I have in the past. But this guy does seem like he's really considering our side. And he was getting angry with the government idiots. And, like, you know, when they played the video of Remo and stuff, he really was like, this is ridiculous. And so, I don't know. He's kind of a joker, too. We'll see how it goes. Oh.
We all certainly paid attention with all the tweets, and that was really cool that we were able to stay that close. But it seemed to me like, you couldn't help but fucking rule for the defendant. My gosh, like that was ludicrous what the Crown presented and how they presented it. Like it was just ludicrous. I don't know. They don't give a fuck, these guys. They just don't care. Well, we lost another one. Let's do it again. All right. And then they do. And they don't care. They got unlimited amounts of money to spend on
And then when they don't like the ruling, they just dissolve the program and set up a new one.
Yeah.
And say, these are the new regulations.
Yeah.
Those rulings for that program that dissolved.
Yeah, until somebody's got enough money out there in the citizenry to challenge.
To challenge the new...
Say that again?
I think they're forcing that result.
Who? Sure. Get rid of, and then they'll move Rona Ambrose to the Ministry of, I don't know what.
Ministry of Defense.
Yeah, Ministry of
Rona
Defense.
Ambrose, Minister of Defense.
Minister of the Fence.
Just before Canada goes to war.
Yeah. She could be Minister of the Fence, I think.
She's not even qualified for that.
Let's make up a new...
Minister of the Fence.
Eh?
Minister of Pants.
Yeah.
Minister of Pants. There we go. She could be the Minister of Pants.
Yeah.
She'd be like, okay, you guys, we're gonna get uniform pants for everybody in Senate, and everybody in the House of Commons. We're all gonna get uniform pants, standardized, nice dress.
She is.
Nice dress pants.
Wednesday pants, Tuesday pants.
So think
Everyday
about
pants.
that, Rona.
Everyday pants.
Different pants for each.
She could get into the home building industry too with a name like Rona. Her name's
For damn
actually
sure.
Ronell.
Ronell.
Ronell, come on in for dinner. Oh, here in Alberta, right? No, I don't know. I shouldn't make personal fun of her. I don't know her, but no, not qualified.
I'm sure she eats dinner though.
Yeah, I'll bet
That
she
joke
eats
applies.
dinner. She should shut up. And
She should shut up.
really,
She should have herself a big play to shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Her and Steve Blaney. I didn't look Blaney up, but he's as lame as them, right? What she should be is the Minister of Political Science. She should be in charge of teaching Canadians how politics works. so we understand it and have access to it somehow. That would be a good thing. How about doing that, Rona?
The
'Cause
Minister
that's what
of
you're
Political
qualified for.
Sciences.
Yeah.
I think that's just a professor of poli-sci.
Yeah. So, no, she could do that. She could oversee the other guy, the professor that teaches us actually about that. Could be her and that guy. That could be the whole ministry. Okay? Costs like $1.98.
I don't know if I'd buy that album. I kind of like Ministry the way they are. They're pretty heavy. I think this new version would be pretty. I don't know. I'm not sure about it.
There's so
Minister
much
of
stuff
Ministry.
in the world. There's a lot of stuff. I had a crow throw a toque at me yesterday.
Hey, get a new hat, buddy.
I was walking down the street.
A crow gave you a toque.
Well, I don't know if he gave it to
Oh,
me.
no,
A
the-
toque came flying down beside me,
Don't
and
ever-
a crow right behind it, fending me off if I was to go for it.
Oh, it's like, hey, man, this one ain't
Yeah.
yours.
No, making a nest. This is going to be a nest.
I'm holding
for
on to this
sure.
for somebody.
Holding on to
for
this
a
for
guy.
somebody. You told me he'd be back in an hour.
Yeah, hey, man, this
Don't
ain't your
even
hat,
touch
bro.
the
This ain't your
toque.
hat.
They got a bit more info on the raid that happened.
This just in.
This just in, apparently the cops raided the weeds dispensary because a 15-year-old had a cookie. He apparently got sick from it and had his stomach pumped.
I have a
like
cookie.
Dad's
I have a
cookies.
cookie.
Your cookies?
Yeah.
I like cookies.
Dad's biscuit. Hey, oatmeal biscuit.
Nice.
Infused by mom.
So what's the difference
Mom
between
infused
that
Dad's
and a
cookies.
16-year-old stealing booze from his parents' cupboard and getting really sick? Do they go and raid that liquor store?
Yep. In every
and, like,
case they
take
do.
Away take away all their jobs and
That's
stuff? I
that's
don't know.
procedure.
77%.
It sounds ridiculous to me.
Over 70% of all fucking 15-year-olds do that too. They get booze.
Totally. And get really fucking
So-
drunk and puke all over the place, and half of them end up in the drunk tank overnight, or, parents got to come pick them up. Whatever the fucking story is.
Yeah. So, big deal.
Yeah, big deal. It's not mentioned on the news the next day or anything like that.
Just tells me that kid was a lightweight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
Trying to look cool for all his friends. I ate a pot cookie. I ate a pot
It's called-
cookie. I ate a pot cookie.
it's called thinning the
You
herd.
probably whined just like that. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I don't eat edibles myself because they don't necessarily agree with me, and I figured it out. Huh. What do I just keep eating
I think
pot
if the kid ate it
cookies
by
when I
choice,
throw up
then the
every
kid
time
should
I
just
eat
deal
them?
with it and fucking move on.
And he will,
Yeah.
right? His friends will make fun
So
of
why
him
would
and
they be
alienate
fucking
him.
raided? Like, that's just absolutely fucking ridiculous.
He'll have to become a goth or some other style of kid now,
now
because
he's gonna be an emo.
the pot smokers will alienate him.
No,
and,
kid's gonna
Right?
go straight edge.
Straight edge. Oh yeah, he'll join
Lost
Sam.
him.
He's gonna get the X,
Yeah.
some Doc Martens, shave his head,
Get a tattoo, a Rona
Right.
Ambrose,
wear a flight jacket.
Health Canada symbol,
Yeah.
his leg. Yeah, that's
Rona
where
Ambrose
that's
holding a
where
gun that
cops
shoots
come
liberty.
from. We should track the kid, right? Find out who he is, and we should do our own study of watching a kid until he grows up. Guaranteed he becomes a cop. Hey? I had a bad experience with
prediction?
marijuana.
Hey,
Yes.
that could be a great show where people bet on studies.
Ooh, that'd be good. Hey?
Yeah. It's
Or
just
follow
like
people and follow people.
you
and
got
bet on how they
you got a
turn out.
group of leading experts
Leading
in
experts.
gambling that follow around, subjects in long-term studies, and they try to.
And they wager on it. I think that'd be hilarious.
That's like in-depth gambling. It's like, yeah, long-term gambling is what it is. Market projection, kind of like market projection, but not.
Well, I like that idea. We're going to work on it for next week. We'll be back. And we're going to get the hell out of here. I'm thrilled that we had this time together.
Yeah, it was a good one.
And hope we can do it again soon, like next week.
Come on.
In the meantime, come on down to the Vapor Lounge. We got another one down 16, what's the address? 1674 Davie Street here in Vancouver, down by the beach. Go on down there and check it out. And do stop in here too anytime you're around. You can stay at Kush Queen's place if you come in from out of town. So email ahead about that, the rates, and availability.
Oh my god, you totally took me off guard there. I'm like, wait, what?
Stay at the famed castle, the Kush Castle.
I was trying to keep a straight face, but I really couldn't.
Yeah. For those who like to rock, a rocking chair in the middle. So yeah.
Bye.
Thanks to Al for showing up too. Appreciate that.
Thanks for
Bringing
letting
lots
me
of
show
jars. And Kush Queen, Columbia.
Columbia.
See you next week. And thanks to Rose and
I'm
Jer
gonna go
for
enjoy
here
Whistler.
being here. Look for the beating process on Rose's one running shoe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Takes a long time.
Progress is I can't even see the beads, let alone, like, unbelievable. She does it in the dark. So yeah, I'm glad you joined us. Thanks for being in the chat, and hope you had fun. I'm Big Daddy Pot. We're gonna be here next week. We'll see you then. Peace and pot.